Welcome back to Star Rapid. We've been back at work since the 21st of February, and over the coming weeks a lot of you are going to be going back to work as well. Now the key to going back to work is to stay safe, and there's only one way of staying safe, and that is to implement a whole bunch of epidemic prevention measures inside your offices, in your factories, and so on. So what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to go through 6 main categories of things that you may need to do or choose to do that will protect you as you all go back to work. Now those 6 categories are health checks, social distancing, personal cleanliness, no touching of anything, disinfection of facilities, and rules around eating and smoking, for example. So I'm going to tell you what we're doing here in China, and it's not just my company. This is every business in China is mandated to do this by law. Okay, so the first one is health checks. When you arrive at work in the morning, the person at the reception uses the infrared thermometer and they check your temperature when you arrive, and also in the afternoon as well. Now, if for any reason you have a fever, then you need to be isolated. So we have an isolation room here. The person will sit there until such time as someone comes along to do a test or take them to a hospital or whatever it is that you need to do. Now I want to talk about social distancing. Now, social distancing isn't just about keeping away from each other. It's also about masks. Even if you can't buy an N95, you can't get surgical masks, you can't get something fancy like this exercise mask, just anything over your face, it works. So how does it work? Well, it works to protect you from me if I am sick. If I'm sick and I cough, that can go, we already know that can go up to 6 meters. That's 20 feet. We know from studies that were done both in China and in the US and in Europe that people as far away as 4.5 meters can get sick from coronavirus from someone who is not wearing a mask. This allows you to get as close as 1.5 meters quite safely. Now, the second thing it does is it lowers the viral load if you do catch it. Let's say you don't have a mask on, they don't have a mask on, they cough, you get a full face of this stuff, and it gives you a high initial viral load. That means that you're going to get sicker faster because of the exponential growth of the virus. If you start with a lower number, it takes a long time to build up to be a big number. You start with a big number and boom, you get hit like a sledgehammer. Now, we have been told that we must, even when we're wearing masks, we must keep up to 1.5 meters between ourselves, about 6 feet, 5 feet, at all times. There can be no more than 3 people in a meeting at any one time. Also, we went over to using Skype and Microsoft Teams a lot. We also went on to staggered days for what you might call non-essential workers. That is people who don't need to physically be on site. So if you're an office-based business, that's quite easy to do. If you're a factory, of course, that's impossible. So what we had is all of our office workers basically working Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, half of them, and then the other half working Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and the off days they were at home working. One of the things that most governments were saying, and they were right, is to wash your hands thoroughly, at least 20 to 30 seconds. And what we do is we ask our employees to do that pretty much on the hour, every hour. Go wash your hands. If you sneeze or cough, make sure you hold the mask, especially the surgical mask. So basically, you're going to cough, kind of seal it up a bit, okay? If you don't have your mask on, then you do it into the crease of your elbow. Now I want to talk about no touching anything, okay? Now, by that I mean, if you're going to open a door, try and do it with your elbow. One of the things we did was to stop using the door entry system, which had a finger vein reader on it. So we just got rid of that completely, and we just went over to, let's say, a trust system. People are supposed to turn up at 8, leave at 5, whatever it is. We just trusted them to do that, and that's fine. Now we'll talk about disinfection of facilities. 2 times every day, we have a contractor come in and they spray the entire facilities, inside and out. The factory, the offices, even all of the car park and green areas outside, to kill off the virus. Now we're using chlorine dioxide in a 1:80 with water ratio. We're also using peracetic acid in a 1:100 ratio. Now the thing you have to be very careful about is that you're not spraying your products, particularly plastics, even some of the metals. Also, 3 times per day we went around and we're using alcohol to wipe the doorknobs, the handles, the meeting room tables, all wiped with alcohol at least 3 times per day. All the doors and windows should be kept open. Whatever you do, do not use air conditioning unless it's got some kind of HEPA filter or viral filter on it, which only seem to exist on aircraft nowadays. It really does move the coronavirus about, and it keeps it inside the building. You don't want that. Doors and windows open, get a nice draft going through. If you have a canteen, everyone must come at different times. So we set up these 10-minute rotas. So basically over a period of 2 hours, we divided up the entire company of 250 people into these 12 lots, and people would come every 10 minutes. What you have to remember is that this coronavirus cannot read, it can't look at YouTube, it doesn't know about politics, it doesn't know about this party versus that party, it doesn't care less. It is a dumb, viral, RNA-based program that leaps from human to human. And it's going to kill the rich, it's going to kill the poor, it's going to kill the bosses, it's going to kill the workers, it will kill anyone it can get into. It gets into one cell, it replicates millions of times. When you have it, you are shedding billions of viruses. This is why they call it the honey badger virus. It's going to get in, and it's going to get out, and there's not a lot you can do to stop it. But if you do all of this, at least you stand a chance of slowing it down and getting the R0 below 1, which means that eventually the epidemic will fade away and die out. Well, that's it for today. I hope you all get back to work safely. We have to go back to work. We can't all carry on sitting at home. I genuinely believe that. You know, if we allow this economy of the world to stay dormant for too long, you know, it's almost like the original virus, you know, it grows at 32% or 25% a day. Well, right now, the economic damage that's being done is also exponential for every day we sit at home. What we cannot do is go back to work without this. You have to do this if you want to stay safe. Everyone's got to do it. Everyone's got to wear their masks. This is #1 most important thing on this list. Wearing the masks, washing the hands and so forth. The rest, it all helps. But this halves the transmission rate. Anyway, I want all of you to stay safe. Thank you for watching. See you on the other side.